Picture of President Ho Chi Minh after the Vietnamese victory of Dien Bien Phu in 1954. Weapons used by the South Vietnamese against the French. Bamboo spikes, nail boards, and grenades. Machetes, bamboo rods and spears. President Ho Chi Minh appeals to all citizens to take part in the defense of the motherland. July 17, 1966. Responding to President Ho's appeal, Vietnamese women shoot down an American plane. Guerrilla women forced at gunpoint the American pilot to put his hands up and surrender.
And now she's going to tell you something about Gucci area during the wartime, and later about the diagram of Gucci town. So would you please take a look at this map first? This is the area of Gucci district. This one. At the time being, we are right here at the red triangle. From Gucci area back to Ho Chi Minh City, 70 kilometers long via the national highway. But if we have the broad line, I mean in a straight line, Gucci is only 30 kilometers away from Ho Chi Minh, so it is very close. This is the Saigon River running from Cambodia all the way, passing by Gucci area, and after that Saigon before it comes into the South China Sea. Now please pay more attention to the color on this map here. The first one, it is the red color, and it represents for the liberated area. I mean the year of liberation. Totally belong to the Gucci guerrilla, totally belong to the VC during the wartime. The pink color on the map here, they are the disputed area, land disputed between two sides. So due to the superpower, the American control it on the surface, but the guerrilla now, due to the daylight, the American could control it, but at night time, again, it belonged to the BC. So they fought for piece by piece of land in Gucci area at that time. What about the yellow color on our map here? The yellow color, they are for the strategic hamlet. And this is the idea of Mr. Ngô Đình, the first Prime Minister and the first President of the South of Vietnam during the war. So he talked about the idea of setting up many of the strategic hamlets. So he tried to push the local people into the hamlet, and he fenced around so that he could isolate the local people from the VC. Because during the war, it was nearly impossible for him to know who is VC and who is not VC. That's why he tried to push all the people into the strategic hamlet. And what about the green color? You can see a lot of them all together here, about 200 of them, in which the biggest one is the Don Du military base. They belong to the American and they belong to the South of Vietnam Army or the Saigon Army. This is where the 25th Infantry Tropical Lightning set up the base in the year 1966, 1 year after the American started to send the troops to Vietnam, beginning the Vietnamese-American War. So if the fact that the Americans were too powerful with all the bomb, or the shell, or the artillery, or the Agent Orange, that's why guerrilla had to think about something underneath for hiding, for living, and for fighting. That's why they constructed the tunnel. But actually, the first tunnel system were constructed in the year 1948. That means during that time against the French, not against the American. The first tunnel system. So after the French time came the American, and when the war in Vietnam became escalated in the year 1960, the Gucci guerrilla altogether had constructed over 200 kilometers long of tunnel. They are connected into each other with one backbone, and then they have got many different branches going into the garden, the rice field, the river, and so on. What about the tool for digging the tunnel? They are from these two ones. You can see very small one, simple one made from bamboo tree with metal. This is for digging, yeah, and the bamboo basket. But after they dig the tunnel, so where did they keep the soil? And you know, during the war, bomb raider everywhere in Gucci, every day new soil. So after they had got the soil would be filled into the bomb raider, or they either brought them to Saigon River and filled into Saigon River. That is how they did and how they camouflage all the soil. Now would you please move your attention to the second one. This is the diagram of Gucci Tunnel. On the surface is the scenery of Gucci with the root of the tree, with the bomb raider, with fire and smoke. That is the actual scenery of Gucci before the year 1975. For the construction of Gucci, it had got three main layers. 1, 2, 3. The first layer of the tunnel are 3 meters deep. The second layer of the tunnel are about 6 meters deep. And the final layer or the third layer of the tunnel about 8 to 10 meters deep. So when they stay in the tunnel, of course, there would be a big lack of oxygen. So would you please take a look at this one? They are the air hole or ventilation hole for bringing the fresh air into the tunnel. And most of the air holes were constructed under the termite net for camouflage. Now please pay attention to the first layer of the tunnel. The first one on the first layer, it is the operation room or the small hospital inside of the tunnel. This is the dining room and the kitchen, and this is a very special kitchen. They call it smoke keeping kitchen. When they cook it, they try to keep the smoke inside. They didn't let it to go out to the ground. But if the smoke went out to the ground, it was very little, very light, so the American couldn't recognize. The third room is the meeting room, where the guerrilla had got the meeting. This is the food and the weapon storage room. They keep all the food and the weapons here. And the final room on this diagram is the fighting bunker. Guerrillas set up bunker inside of the ground, and about 3 to 5 guerrillas set up the gun, and they fire outside via the hole facing the ground. This is a special kind of bunker. It is the A-shaped bunker. It is very good for anti-bomb, big bomb like B-52 bomb or 750 kilogram heavy bomb. Inside of the tunnel, they set up many booby traps. As you know, during the war, the Americans they selected many of the small-sized soldiers, and they gave them the name tunnel rat soldier. So they sent many of the tunnel rats into the tunnel, So in order for trapping all this one, Kuchi guerrilla set up many booby traps. And when the tunnel rat went into the tunnel, of course they didn't see the way because it was very dark inside. So it was very easy for them to fall into the booby trap like this. And it is where they get the one-way ticket to the next life. What about this one? Although they were very close to Saigon River, but they didn't dare to get the water from here for drinking because water here was poisoned from chemical, engineering or whatever. So they constructed their own well even inside of the tunnel for getting the fresh water. And the well was estimated about 50 meters deep from the ground. 50 meters deep. This is considered one of the most clever ideas of the Kuchi guerrilla. You know, the dimension of the tunnel are about 80 centimeters high and 60 centimeters wide. But some areas like this, they were smaller, about 60 centimeters high and only 40 centimeters wide. It is only tiny enough for Vietnamese because Vietnamese people, we are very skinny. We eat a lot of rice and with the ring rice wine. But for the American, it is a big problem because the American, they enjoy a lot of McDonald's, you know, So if they try to cross over here, it was an impossible job, and it is where they got stuck waiting for the BC. It's a very clever idea. And this is the easiest way into Saigon River. In the case of emergency, they would open the door here and they try to get into Saigon River. They could swim up the river, Saigon River, in order to get to the border between Vietnam and Cambodia, and they could be safe there. So that is some very general information about Kuchi over the tunnel. Now it is the time for us to go to the tunnel and then you can experience more the guerrilla, and I would like to say thank you very much for your kind attention.